all about Scorpio Part 9. Alright, so it's a Valentine's Day soon, and that is exactly why we're talking about LOVE. And we're starting off, of course, with the Scorpio women, when they're actually in love, the love personality, what else? How do they express their love? And right now, what we're actually going to talk about are the common mistakes Scorpio women commit, when they're actually in a relationship. And I'm going to read that from this article that I just saw. Being a Scorpio woman, of course, I'm definitely going to share some inputs or feedback about it. Okay? Now, before I do that, there is this one interesting thing that I saw on the website. It's actually a blog. I don't know if it's a book, but it says here, The Amorous Nature of a Scorpio Woman. Okay, I guess we'll start off with this first, okay? It says here, faint heart never won a Scorpio female. It takes a man who knows exactly what he wants to hold his ground against a woman born under this sign. Scorpio woman is very emotional, very affectionate, and very demanding. She's not interested in a light flirtation or a bed for the night. Neither does she believe in sharing. Any man who thinks it isn't necessary to sign a treaty just because he's having an affair would do well to avoid getting involved with a Scorpio female. She believes in treaties with irrevocable clauses and lots of fine print spelling out just what you can't do. How does she get away with being so possessive and jealous? Because she's a marvelous, fascinating, irresistible woman, exciting in the bedroom, entertaining in the living room. She carries with her an enticing air of mystery. She can drive a man to the brink of despair and with a gesture summon him back to the heights of happiness. There is no in-between with this explosive female. With any other woman of the zodiac, you can work out some sort of compromise about who has rights and who has suffered wrongs. Not with her. You have to knuckle under and make the best of your bargain or settle for living in the middle of a permanent earthquake. Love is very important to her, and she can turn on enough magnetism to attract any man. If a man is really special, she is willing to play the role of aggressor. Her dynamo starts to whir as soon as her remarkable intuitions tell her that this man is someone she'll be happy with. Her intuitions are rarely wrong. She is a gifted person with the ability to penetrate into hidden secrets of human nature. Scorpio is a water sign, and like all the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, this woman is very susceptible to the feelings of others. Her most intense desire is for a close, committed union. In a relationship, she cannot bear coldness or casualness or a feeling that she's being shunted aside. When she's in love, she is at her most vulnerable. For then, a lover can hurt her without even knowing it. Another woman might forgive and forget, but when a Scorpio woman is hurt, she will always strike back. If necessary, she will destroy. However, despite what you've heard about Scorpio's willful, passionate nature, she is a faithful mate to the man she chooses for her own. Hers is a fixed sign, and she possesses an enduring capacity for loyalty. A man cannot have a fiercer ally. If a Scorpio woman loves you, she will defend and protect you with her dying breath. What she demands is constancy. What she offers is fidelity. That is so true. She is possessive, but most men with a Scorpio woman in their lives will tell you they want nothing more than to be possessed by her. Okay. Yep, that's so true. I mean, I find this really, really interesting, and especially the fidelity part. Again, like in the previous recordings, I've told you guys that we are we're possessive, jealous in nature, but we're just being very protective. But of course, that's still a negative trait of a Scorpio male or female. However, the good thing about Scorpios, really, when they're actually in love, they really defend the people that they're in love with, or the people that they truly love, whether that's family members or a romantic partner or friends, okay? And I like the part about the fidelity thing, because we're really loyal to our partners. Ones, especially the Scorpio women, when they're actually committed to someone, when we really love someone, would definitely be very devoted and loyal to them. So it's something that we can definitely offer to our partners. You know, you don't actually see us really flirting around with a lot of guys, or, you know, sneaking around, do some flirtings and behind your back, or getting engaged in a adulterous affair or something like that. Unless, of course, you know, something happened. You know, I'm not saying all Scorpio women are like that, but generally, or most Scorpios that I know too, and being a Scorpio myself, we're very loyal to our partners. So I really like what's written in here. And I also like the part that it says here that we don't like, definitely, a guy or a partner who's actually going to just put us aside, okay? Of course, we wanted to feel appreciated. We wanted to feel that, you know, that there's something that we can do, you know, that we can work as a teammate, you know, we can work together in a relationship. So if the guy is always just, you know, putting you behind and not really, you know, not really paying attention to you and all that, that's going to put off a lot of Scorpio women out there, okay? Anyway, so let's begin with the 10 things, or the 10 mistakes that Scorpio women actually make in relationships. This is actually from bustle.com. You can also check that article. It's really cool. Okay? So, let's see here. Number 1, taking everything personally. With an innate sixth sense, Scorpios can often pick up on subtleties and cues that most people miss, putting them 2 steps ahead of everyone else. In relationships, this kind of sensitivity gives Scorpios a kind of emotional intelligence that can make them deeply intuitive and sensitive lovers. However, when taken to the extreme, this same show of sensitivity can be problematic when a Scorpio reads too far into what their partner's actions in order to keep the upper hand. The end result of this approach leaves both parties feeling attacked. The remedy? Ask for clarification when necessary. Recognize that you can't control what another person does, even if you really, really want to. And determine if what's bothering you about your lover's actions stems from an old hurt or a new one. As many times, hypersensitivity stems from a fear of getting hurt in a way that has happened before. Okay? Number 2, refusing to let go. It's always said that when a Scorpio loves, they love forever. Scorpios tend to have an unwavering, through thick and thin kind of approach to romance. This is why so many potentials clamor for a Scorpio woman's heart. They know that having an ironclad, us against the world kind of love is something true and rare. However, that loyalty and sticking power can work against the Scorpio woman when she finds herself holding on to a partner that's all wrong for her out of a desire to cling to what's familiar and safe. So if you find yourself afraid to let such a person go, think about whether this person brings true value to your life, or if they hold you back. If you find this person doing more harm than good, let them go for someone much better. Ouch. Actually, this has happened to me. Yeah. You know, in my experience, when I fell in love with someone, you know, you would want to save the relationship, you know. Love is blind, definitely. Because when a Scorpio loves someone, they would really, you know, try to do everything and, you know, believe that it can still work and all that. But, you know, it's really, I guess it's about the stubbornness of a Scorpio too, which is why they're sometimes refusing to let go. But in my case, I was like, it took a lot before I can really, you know, before I told myself, rather, that, okay, I'm done. I'm really done. I'm going to let go. This is not doing me any good. It's not serving me any good. So I'm going to cut off the ties, and that's it. So I think it's about the stubbornness of a Scorpio, but really it's like, I guess it's because we wanted as much as possible to believe that it's going to work, you know. A Scorpio would definitely sacrifice a lot for their partner. Like you would, you know, really try to work things out, you know. But if it comes to a point where you feel that everything is going totally insane, like it's hurting you more than doing you good, then that's a time when, you know, a Scorpio would definitely think and say, you know what, this is pointless. This is really, you know, a waste of time. This is really not going to do me any good. So I guess it's time to say goodbye, really. And when a Scorpio, you know, say goodbye, they do it, you know, in an instant. Again, no warning signals, okay? So, yeah, I would agree to this one. Refusing to let go are one of the common mistakes for Scorpio. That happened to me. It's been, you know, it took me a while to let go. But then when I actually analyzed the situation, and it came to a point that I felt as if I was really disrespected, and I felt as if, you know, the person is actually really trying to abuse me, and again, they're doing more harm than good, then I told myself, you know what, this is over. I'm not going to settle my time for someone who's actually just full of love for himself, full of, you know, respect only for himself, you know. So it's kind of sad, but yeah, that's true. About Scorpio women, you know, refusing to let go, having a hard time letting go of someone, okay? So that's a great advice. It happened to me. So if you Scorpio women out there, you're in love with a guy, try to analyze it, because we're very emotional, you know. We're very emotional. We try to believe that it's still going to work, you know, but once you get that bump in the head, then, and analyze everything and, you know, figure out if this is still going to work for you or not, and identify if this is something that is, you know, doing you more harm than good, then yeah, most definitely get out of that relationship, you know. It's not helping you. It's better to move on and, you know, be involved with someone. There are a lot of fishes in the sea. Someone who would really love you for who you are, someone who would really respect you, and someone who can give you that equal amount of love that you're showing to your partner who's actually treating you really badly, okay? So that's an advice from a Scorpio like myself. Okay, number 3, little or no boundaries. As a zodiac sign most concerned with deep bonding and intimacy, Scorpios have a need to full meld with their beloved. Losing track of where you begin and where your lover ends is wonderful for creating a soulmate vibe in your relationship. Yet, this can also leave little room to establish healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries in a relationship creates a foundation of mutual respect between two parties, so true, space for differences, and fosters communication. So, instead of expecting that your partner should automatically see or do everything the way you do, remember, number 1, your partner is their own person, and so are you. And number 2, be clear about what makes you comfortable or not. And should you find yourself with someone who is always consciously overstepping your boundaries, then leave. Yeah. As a Scorpio, that is so true. That's one of the common mistakes that we Scorpios commit. Like, this person, it's like, you know, we're actually expecting too much. That's probably why we're, you know, demanding. Like, if we actually don't like someone because we like have this expectations. There you go. The expectation is the term. We're expecting that this person should be doing this instead of that. So it's true. The best advice for that is that to remind yourself really is that this person is their own person, okay? you have to be very communicative and let them know really what is it that's not working for you. Now, if this person is really, doing the same things over and over, despite of the fact that you reminded this person, your partner, that, hey, I don't appreciate that, please don't do it, and they, kept on doing it, then most definitely, get out of that door, okay? All right. So, number 4, your heart or sex with strings attached. Despite their reputation for being emotional and sensitive, Scorpio women have a special brand of tenacity, insight, drive, and charm that makes them some of the most powerful leaders, influencers, and trendsetters of their time. Yet when a Scorpio allows insecurity to get the best of her, having this kind of power can mean taking a by any means necessary approach to remain on top. In love, this can translate into the Scorpio woman using her magnetism to manipulate her lover into doing what she wants by offering sex favors or her heart with conditions out of a fear of losing power or security in the relationship. To avoid this, stop for a moment to consider the important role authenticity plays in a strong, healthy relationship and how much manipulation and power plays undermine it. Your partner should be able to trust you too. On this one, honestly, I can't comment. It doesn't apply on me, really, to be quite honest. So, sorry, but there you go. That's the advice. Number 5, unfair standards. By design, Scorpios are fiercely loyal toward and protective of those they love, often fearlessly going to bat and winning for a loved one done wrong. The flip side to this is that Scorpios can also be possessive, believing that whomever they establish a bond with belongs to them for pretty much forever. Sounds kind of Twilight-ish, but when it comes to sex and romance, problems arise when the possessive Scorpio believes that she can do whatever she wants, like lying or spying or cheating on a partner, while her mate must be on their absolute best behavior. To sidestep this pitfall, use your intuition and empathic powers to understand your mate's perspective. A true soulmate connection isn't one-sided. I would agree to the possessive side of Scorpios, especially for female, but I cannot really comment much because I don't see myself like this. Like, a Scorpio believes that she can do whatever she wants, like lie, spy, or cheat on a partner. I don't know. Maybe other Scorpios would agree. I don't know. In my case, I really can't agree on that one. But the possessive side, yeah, I'd definitely say that a lot of Scorpios are very possessive of their loved ones. But then again, I mentioned this earlier, that we're only possessive. It depends, really. The maturity as well and all that. We're possessive of someone if we actually, especially, we're jealous of someone, especially if we see that our partner is actually really flirting with other girls and you're together. That's something that we really wouldn't want. But if the guy's really just simply talking to, a lot of girls, just really talking and can sense that you're not really flirting, then that's perfectly fine. So it depends, really, okay? Besides, these are just, general things. Let's see. Number 6, trust scares you. Okay. As an all or nothing kind of sign, Scorpios want to lose total control with the person they love, but at the same time, Scorpios are deathly afraid of losing that control. This is because Scorpios are acutely aware of the cruelty human beings can inflict on each other when one person has too much power. As a very tender and feeling sign, you often hide behind a steely facade, making it next to impossible for others to get in. So true. While your reservations about vulnerability can help to keep more unscrupulous people out of your life, being overly mistrusting might be causing you to miss out on a truly rewarding love. One way to avoid this is by checking for consistency in your lovers' or potential lovers' words and actions to make sure you're both on the same page while having conversations that build the intimacy between you two. I really agree on that one. I guess it's because of the trauma. In my case, I've trusted someone and then in the end you would actually realize that they betrayed you. So it's definitely hard, to trust again. That's why, you tend to become suspicious and all that. But I really agree on the advice that is written in here that you have to check for consistency. Again, Scorpios, they have that capacity to observe people, right? And usually they observe not just by words. It's actually the consistency of the actions or the behavior, the patterns, is something that we can actually rely on. So take note of that, okay? Number 7, the floodgates are always open. Emotional depth is one of the things that makes Scorpio so sexy. They have the ability to see into the soul and a psyche of a person while providing healing, comfort, and support to those that may be hurting or in pain. If there was ever a cure for a broken heart, a Scorpio would more than likely be it. Yet that emotional depth can also be a dark and stormy area, especially if a Scorpio doesn't have the right outlet to channel all of those complex emotions. The end result? Drowning your lover in an endless deluge of moodiness, leaving your partner to feel like there's always a crisis brewing. Well, you should never repress how you feel. The best way to address what you're feeling is actually to identify what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and what you can do to alleviate it. Okay, so here's some tips or hints. It's not about laying blame. And if you find yourself really struggling with feelings like depression or anger, seek out a professional who can help. All right, number 8. This one is so true. Dwelling too much in the past. I'm definitely going to, agree on that one. I'm going to be honest with, and own up to that mistake as a Scorpio woman, okay? As a water sign, Scorpios are deeply affected and moved by the past, able to pull up vivid details from their steel trap of a memory. That's so true. Whenever the mood or nostalgia strikes. Word on the Astro Street is that if anyone craves a lover that remembers birthdays, anniversaries, and the age they were when they lost their first tooth, they should, get a Scorpio. That's how serious a Scorpio's love is. They let nothing about you slip past them. However, this can be a bit of a double-edged sword. When a Scorpio gal brings up every single thing their sweetie has done to upset them, or the Scorpio woman who scares off potential partners by allowing ghosts from relationships past to cloud her ability to open her heart. If any of this sounds like you, think about whether holding on to the past and in this way fuels your love life or drains it. If it's the latter, it may be time to let go. Again, it's like going back to one of the mistakes that, common mistakes that a Scorpio woman does, letting go. That's why I could really, relate to this one. Dwelling on the past. I admit to that mistake. I do that, especially when I got hurt the first time with my first love. Most definitely, or 99% of the time, I'd mentioned the pain that I felt about this guy, about the feeling, that I felt, that, this guy's caused me, the hurt and all that. So, yeah, definitely. This is one of the mistakes that we commit, and I commit, that I definitely need to acknowledge and, try to work on, not to dwell too much in the past, and try to bring that up again, and just let go. It's easier said than done, but yeah, that's the best advice ever, really, to let go and not try to bring that up any longer because it's not going to help you to heal. So the only person you can heal your broken heart is yourself, really. Okay, we're almost done. Number 9, keeping score. Contrary to popular belief, Scorpio women are very generous and giving. If a Scorpio lady likes someone, they can be awfully hard at hiding it, preferring to shower the object of their affection with attention, sex, and gifts. Okay. This warm-heartedness coupled with their penchant for getting easily attached also makes a Scorpio woman extremely fearful of being taken advantage of by someone she adores. If left unchecked, this fear can lead her to keeping score or establishing a tit-for-tat kind of dynamic in the relationship. Example, I've done something for you, now you must do something for me or else. If keeping score in a relationship is a habit for you, then it may be time to determine if the person you're involved with is your mate or an opponent, as love shouldn't be a war. Though, if you find yourself dating those who take more than they give, then it's time to shake up your dating pool. And finally, going to the extreme. Driven by the planets Mars, which is the Roman god of war, and Pluto, the Roman god of the underworld, life or death experiences are relatively common for Scorpios. Just about every Scorpio woman alive has the innate need to push and test limits as means of measuring their own success and strengths. However, when it comes to relationships, too much of an all-or-nothing approach can be problematic for the Scorpio gal when she allows herself to be continuously drawn into emotionally charged and dysfunctional love affairs, riddled with super highs and super lows. A healthy relationship does not and should not be an emotional roller coaster in order for it to feel satisfying or fated. Oh well. Anyway, those are really great, really great things about, or the common mistakes that a Scorpio woman does in a relationship. And I agree with most of them, definitely. I agree with what's being said in here. So, I'm going to post another article. I think before we proceed to the Scorpio male when they're in love, or a Scorpio man in love, and how do they express it, I think there's another one that I'd like to talk about Scorpio women being in love. This is actually for the Valentine's Day special. All right. So I'll post another recording. Watch out for it. And thank you once again for listening.